Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Tech Talks with Manju. Have you been ever in a situation where you're about to attend an interview and it is your dream job? You would like to crack that at any cost. So, in such situations, you'd like to have a good feedback system where you can improvise yourself by taking such feedbacks. Usually, we will look forward for a senior most people who can help us to crack such interviews. But it is not possible always to catch hold of such people and get a right person to guide us with the right feedbacks, right? So to solve that particular problem, I have created a tool. Okay, it is called a rehearsal room, where it is a mock interview tool. You can basically provide a job description here, and you can basically select the interview focus. We'll discuss different scenarios. Okay, if you're applying for a basic engineer role, you'd like to specifically look for a technical or a role specific feedbacks. Okay, but when you're applying for the good or a big jobs, right, at that time you have to have a behavioral feedbacks also at that moment. Okay, and sometimes you have to act like a star to get such huge big roles, right? So to solve that particular problem, I have created a tool. So here you can select your interview focus, and you can put how many questions you'd like to rehearse at a time. Okay, and the best part of this tool is we have multiple options to use it. Okay, so I usually go with Gemini so that it will be easy for me to get the keys and utilize the model and all. So but if you have any other APIs to use it, this tool have a feasibility to use that particular tool. Okay, so let's start this particular interview with the Gemini. The job description which I have put here is for the Azure Administrator for a 3 to 6 years of experience, and all those daily activities better to have. All those things are available here. Okay, so let's start the interview right now.
Welcome. Let's start by having you introduce yourself and briefly describe your experience as an Azure Cloud Administrator, highlighting aspects most relevant to managing and optimizing Azure infrastructure.
Hi, myself Manju. I have an 5 years of experience as an Azure administrator. I usually take care of the environment which is of 150 servers, and I keep maintaining the structure, specifically the infrastructure on the operating system. Also, we do a patching, we do a ticket management, and we do automation. Basically, I also have a capability of creating the PowerShell scripts to automate a daily activities.
Manjanath, thank you for the introduction. It's good to hear you have 5 years of experience and engage in activities like patching, ticket management, and automation with scripts. To make your experience clearer, try to elaborate on the specific Azure services you administer and the scale of the environment you manage, perhaps in terms of resources or subscriptions. Given your experience, can you describe a time when you had to implement or refine an identity and access management solution in Azure using Entra ID, including specific features like conditional access or RBAC? What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
When I started working on Entra ID, basically the challenge was I had a lot of users which was enrolled into the environment, and we were supposed to have the PIM enabled for all of them. Basically, specific uh, features which uses the Entra ID.
Your answer touched on managing users and potentially privileged identity management, PIM, with Entra ID, which is relevant. However, it was quite high level and lacked specific technical details regarding the implementation process or the explicit use of features like conditional access or RBAC. To strengthen your answer, elaborate on the exact steps you took, the specific Entra ID features utilized, and provide a concrete example of a challenge you encountered and its resolution. Managing Azure networking components is a critical part of this role. Can you walk me through your approach to designing or troubleshooting a complex virtual network setup in Azure, perhaps involving hybrid connectivity or Azure Firewall? What considerations are critical to ensure secure and efficient communication?
When I started working on the Azure Firewall, basically it had the hub and spoke method. It was connected to the on premises, where the on premises servers were having one of the domain controller. And we had a huge connectivity dependency on non production, production, and hub subscriptions, in which we have maintained and managed the external connections of the third parties also. And the firewall rules enablement or a block and whitelisting and looking at the sentinel enablement for the Azure firewall logs, all those things were taken care by myself.
Your answer correctly highlighted key components like Azure Firewall, the hub and spoke model, and integration with on-premises networks and Sentinel for logging, which demonstrates practical experience. However, it was a bit descriptive of features rather than articulating a clear approach to designing or troubleshooting complex networks. To enhance your answer, consider structuring it by outlining the steps you'd take, from requirements gathering and topology planning to security segmentation and ongoing monitoring, explicitly detailing the secure and efficient communication considerations at each stage. This role involves configuring and maintaining Azure backup and disaster recovery solutions. Can you describe your experience with Azure Backup and Azure Site Recovery, and how you would ensure an effective disaster recovery plan for critical Azure workloads? How do you typically automate these processes?
When my client requested for the Azure backup and site recovery, basically they had around 5,000 servers, and it was a huge multi-client environment in which we have enabled a complete 5,000 server backups, and we started pulling out the reports on a weekly basis and analyzing. We have created alerts for the backup failures as a critical alerts, and integrated specific toolings for triggering the tickets regarding the same thing to the respective team members. And also I have implemented a DR in which it included the servers, AVD, storage accounts, and many more, including the particular AVD cloud cache, right? So all such things are very important for us, and we have implemented. I have demonstrated the RTO, RPO properly, which client has requested for, and I have set up a DR solution for a lot many servers, maybe more than 100 servers for the banking sector.
Your experience with large-scale backup and DR implementations, including reporting and alerting for failures, is very relevant. You clearly have hands-on experience demonstrating RTO, which is crucial. To strengthen your answer, elaborate more on the specific Azure backup and site recovery configuration details you used, and directly address how you automated these processes beyond just alerting. Cost management and optimization is a key responsibility for this role. Can you describe your approach to identifying and implementing cost-saving measures within an Azure environment, and what tools or reports you primarily rely on.
The client had a specific request to lower the cost for an environment, and since it was a growing environment, they had a plan to run this environment for a longer time. And as per their expectation, we had a lot many things optimized. First and foremost things, maybe the orphan resources clear up, maybe the snapshots, unattached disks, stopped virtual machine disks, and analyzing the particular virtual machine sizes which are correct or not. We utilize the advisor to get a specific looking at the things, and Azure Advisor is the best tool to utilize for cost optimization, and it will give you what is a licensing cost which you can save, what is the best size that you can apply, and what are the things that you can go ahead and reserve the instances and the other things, sizes. So those activities I have done, and I have saved a lot more money for the customer, and I have created a monthly report for that advisor itself to look through the cost savings and making sure that there are no orphan resources are available on the environment, and resizing the virtual machine to the correct sizes on a monthly basis report, automated from the app logic to drive the advisor reports.
Your explanation touched on several practical cost-saving measures like identifying orphan resources, managing snapshots, and right-sizing VMS using Azure Advisor, which is excellent. However, the initial context of the specific request was a bit unclear, and while you mentioned reports, it would have been stronger to articulate the measurable impact or specific results of your cost optimization efforts. Try to quantify the savings or efficiency gains when discussing such initiatives.
See, this is the beauty of the tool. Okay, I was trying to randomly answer all those things, and I was trying to basically help out what things that which we can do it. So we got in summary after that. So very beautiful answers which we have got from the best tool, and I have a lot many things to improvise with what are the answers, random answers that they have given. I have given to the tool. So this is the best thing that which we can basically look at it and save the uh, interview skills or improvise the interview skills for the our next important interviews. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day ahead. And the last thing, if you're interested, please make sure you reach me out on the LinkedIn so that I can help you out regarding the same. Thank you.